Yo, time. Letter chapter 5. Time for the best girl in the game, Rebecca. Yeah, let's get going. Yeah, let's get ready. I don't know. This is how it begins, or so they say. With a gentle wind drifting through the wide open, muffled laughter and footsteps fading through behind empty hallways and the light kiss of the afternoon sun. Soon there will be a call, a crossing of threshold into the unknown. Maybe we are off to some grand adventure, or diving into another creeping mystery. One can't really tell. For all I know, a hero might come even sweep me off my feet, if I'm lucky.
That's not exactly a bad thing when you think about it.
But this is far from one, isn't it? A riveting tale, that is. Oh shit. Oh, 21st, damn, we are really far back in the past. A mild breeze, the faint murmurs, the warm rays painting over every nook and cranny of a fiery hue. They are all as real as they get. As much as I want to write a little tale from this, I'm far from someone who can. Fleeting fancies, that's what these are. Merely passing thoughts to occupy an idle mind, while waiting another busy workday to end. Then again, maybe another life. I am one, who knows. But at present, what I have chosen to be. Well,
I won't last years here if I find teaching rowdy adolescents a tedious job, will I?
Admittedly, the whole affair isn't exactly as grand or exciting as I had imagined as a child. If I wasn't so stubborn and too passionate about the whole idea, I would have quit a long time ago. But it's always the kids that makes it worthwhile, isn't it? As if in agreement, as soon as my pen slides to the neat circle against the papers I'm grading to the final bell rings. Like a dam that has opened, students begin piling out into the hallway soon after. For a short minute, I let my noise fill my ears, let my mind wander to a place far removed from all the hubbubs. Solitary moments like this have a few come few and far between lately. Even my own house hasn't been quiet as usual. I prefer. Though in hindsight, the entire place hasn't been the same either since Isabella moved in next door. And if her fussing over a minor cold last week tells anything, I might as well be thrown away for any idea of solitude at the nearest balcony, as long as she lives nearby. At the memory, my eyes automatically shift over the bottle sitting at the edge of my desk. A chuckle escapes from me as I reach for it.
A little ball of energy and enthusiasm. That big baby.
Mother hen, she calls me, then she says, and does the same thing right after. It's not I'm unused by two on the receiving end of the people's worries, or I feel any sort of apprehension over her fretting. If I am to be completely honest, it's actually amusing how someone can be childlike one minute and act like a responsible adult the next. But there's a dissonance there in both her actions and words. Although she might not look like it, she may not say anything, may not lose her cheer one way or another. I know these troubles have weighed down on her lately. Her face is all the big numpty. If she thinks I wouldn't notice, she got another thing coming for her. That's how she always been. I do understand that part loud and clear. It's just that I'd rather not pass another burden onto her.
Or become one myself.
Aren't I supposed to be the one taking care of them? Though I guess that's simply one of those things people eventually grow away from once you start leading different lives. Not completely different, I hope. Somehow, that thought makes me feel uneasy. Thankfully, before stranger ideas can come through in my head, a faint buzzing comes from my bag, cutting through the rest of my thoughts. Small frown formed my lips when the slide came out. An unknown number flashes. For a long second, my thumb hovered the answer button even though the voice that responds I do accept the call is unworthy unfamiliar.
Hello?
Ah, goodness. Finally, it connects. Hello? Is this Miss Gales? Rebecca Gales?
Yes, Yes, speaking. Who is this?
Oh, sorry. Rose Cooper, Briar Realty Corporation.
Briar Realty?
My frown deepens as I straighten from my chair. Something in her tone, despite sounding remarkably friendly and light, that doesn't sit quite well with me. The rigid pause that follows doesn't help to ease the tension that has suddenly descended either.
Miss Cooper?
Yes. Things are a bit busy on my end. I apologize. I'm not certain if Isabella has mentioned anything before, but we're working together on a property at the moment, and...
The Armengard Mansion, yes. She said something about that earlier. Is there a problem?
This is about Isabella, actually.
She wastes no time relaying everything. The details she provided are merely a bit vague, but enough for me to get a gist of what happened. It isn't the bad sort I'm expecting, though still worrying. Especially the word panic attack, pale and looking a bit sickly, woven together in one foreboding sentence. But quickly as it surfaces, I stomp down on the urge to demand answers right there and then. Now isn't the proper time for useless questions, so I'll find out soon enough regardless. To Miss Cooper's credit, she neither hesitates or falters throughout. There's some sort of comfort in knowing Isabella has someone like her to guide her, though not much I would have liked. After all, this is Isabella we're talking about. What are the chances she just said a bunch of excuses so she won't get sent home? High. Very high. Oh, she's gonna hear it this time.
You were listed as one of her emergency contacts, so I thought it'd be best you know about this.
How is she? Is she doing okay?
I had her take a break for now, but honestly, I'd feel better if someone were to pick her up and take her home for some rest. Anthem's a fair distance from Luxbourne. I really don't want her going off on her own. I'd do it myself, but oh, you know how it is today. Big day. People everywhere until the open house ends. I'm really sorry to ask this of you, Miss Gales. I know you're busy.
Oh, no, it's all good. I was just about to leave from work. I hope to leave early today anyway. A few minutes ahead wouldn't hurt. I can be there in a few, 30, 40 minutes tops. Is that all right?
More than fine, Miss Gales, thank you. We're supposed to be here until... Oh, excuse me, one moment, please. Yes, ma'am.
The faint hum of conversation echoes from her end. It sounds as the place is buzzing with more people than you expect from a regular open house. I was skeptical at first. The house is old, not to mention its inconvenient location in Luxbourne's outskirts. Who wants to live in a place that almost an hour away from the comfort of a city? From what little I can hear, it appears Isabella is right to be optimistic about this sale. But I didn't understand what she saw. Adamant refusing my offer to help before, I think I do now. To some degree.
We'll be resuming the tour soon. Yes, thank you. Sorry about that. I really need to get this thing going. Lord knows how I'll salvage the situation here. It shouldn't be anything complicated, but still, clients. They can be difficult when they want to be. Anyway, just look for me when you get here, alright? I shouldn't be too hard to miss.
No problem. Thanks for letting me know about this. Just make sure Isabella stays put, please. Heaven knows how stubborn that girl can be.
Oh, believe me, I know. Don't worry about it. I'll have a few of our staff keep an eye on her for me until you get here.
That's all I'm asking. I appreciate it.
The whole thing ends on a surprisingly pleasant note. If only the same can be said for the news she bore. In a few brief minutes to pass, to ease whatever tension it latched itself to firmly to my nerves. when no matter how much I wish for it, my mind stubbornly refuses to do so. My hands unsteady against the papers I pretend to arrange after. Lucid thoughts, every single ounce of grimmer dance than the other grows with each passing second I linger. Thinking about this whole thing, along with the sudden unease and nagging worry, screams off. This isn't a riveting tale I hope to step into. What? San Cadetti High School. Even in a rush, getting everything in order before leaving takes a good nearly quarter hour. By the time I make it out of the classroom, the commotion has already died down, turning to mere echoes and distant laughter. From the nearby rooms, melodies from rehearsing, man dressing through into the air, filling the almost empty hallway with their warm, lively tunes. Any other day, I'll stop, bask in the music and enjoy what a little pace it brings. Not today, however. My step uproots ensure I can march to Egator exit. The sooner I confirm Isabel's okay, the sooner I can shake off this niggling feeling. For one reason or another, that single core of all possible things has thrown everything off kilter. I'd rather beat this over as quickly as possible. So much that I can nearly quarrel over a student in my haste, though perhaps it's really not the other way around. Oh, son of a bitch, fuck off, Kylie! Stupid girl! When I looked down, a set of eyes, bright, hopeful, stared back at me. Wait, isn't this a high school? She's in high school? Really? Her arms are wrapped around my waist like a vice. At my attention, a grin spread over her face. Burn observes Miss Pink.
Hello, Kylie. You know, you aren't supposed to run into people like that.
Sorry, Miss Pink. She loosens her hold, but not a hint of guilt, regret, or appears on her. If anything, it seems the remark only amuses her. A smile appears on my face before I can help her, matching the one on her own.
Just remember not to do it again, alright? You could get hurt.
You sound like my mama when she's scolding Rowan, Miss Pink.
I'm sure your mama only means well. I know she'll be worried sick if one of you were to get hurt. Where's your brother anyway? Aren't you two supposed to be heading home now?
Rowan said he's got some stuff he needs to do before we go. I think he's taking too long. But he promised to buy me jelly babies today if I keep what he's doing a secret from Mama and Papa.
Any chance you'll tell Miss Pink about it?
She shakes her head, both her hands and her going to her mouth, as if she's going to keeping a precious secret from spilling out.
I made a promise.
Why does she sound younger than she looks? I don't know.
She said it's for Tia Luke.
Oh, something like a gift?
Like a deal.
Is there something in your mouth?
Tio promised to take him somewhere cool when he's old enough. Rowan's gonna prove he's a grown-up.
I thought you're supposed to keep it a secret. Well, okay. Laughter slips free from my lips. A teacher in me wants to give whoever this Tio a reprimand for bringing about this kind behavior in children. If both Warriors kids are so fond of him, there shouldn't be anything to worry about, yes? Any rate, they're nothing but well behaved, both Kylie and her brother. Rowan, the eldest, may have occasionally an odd streak in and out class, but their parents taught them well. I have no reason to cast any suspicion about bad behavior on them.
As long as it isn't anything dangerous, alright?
It's not. Cross my heart. My drawings are a lot prettier than what he's doing anyway. Tio said so. Do you want to see? I drew one earlier at class.
Is that why you're here?
Not really. I was gonna show it to my friend first. But since it's you, I'm sure she wouldn't mind if you see it before she does.
Oh no. I can't stay right now, Kylie.
Her face falls immediately after the words are out. The small part of me feels responsible for that crestfallen look, but as much as I want to stay a little longer, there's another place I need to be at right now. And frankly, another child to look after. Taking both her hands, I kneel in front of her and muster the most rueful smile I can give. At her age, I'm not quite sure she really understands what I'm about to say before they even out. Remarkably, she doesn't look away or pale as I'm expecting her to.
I'm sorry. You know what? Rowan has a class with me on Monday around this time. Why don't you drop by again next week? After class? I'll even make sure to wait for you. It's just that I absolutely must leave now. My friend had an accident earlier, and I'm the only one she has here.
What about her mama and papa?
Her family lives really far from here, I'm afraid. Do you remember where Asia is? The southeast part? That's where they are.
Her eyes immediately line up at my question. Just like that, I know I earned the girl's forgiveness.
Oh, just like Takako.
Who?
My friend. She said she used to live there, only just a little higher than southeast. But she hasn't come home in a long time, so she doesn't remember much about it anymore. Melody says it's weird I talked to her, but I think she's just shy. They could be good friends too. Don't you think so, Miss Pink?
Maybe if you introduce them properly, they will be.
That's what I think. Takako's just lonely. If she makes more friends, she won't be anymore. Is your friend like that too?
A little, possibly. To be honest, sometimes I can't tell with her.
After all, Isabella has always been the kind to hold a smile, even when things have taken a turn for the worse. 5 years and one will think it's enough time to know a person. But then when you consider it, come to think of it, all these years I've never, not even seen her cry. Not over a trivial matter or even when things are tough.
Okay, you can go to her. I'll just show you my drawing next time.
Yeah, fuck off, bitch.
Thank you. Remind me to buy you a huge glass of parfait, alright?
No, I'll get a stomachache. Takako says so. A small one is okay.
I'll remember that. Say hi to your friend for me.
I will. I'm sure she'd love to meet you too. See you, Miss Pink.
I'll see you later, Kylie.
London Bridge is
She doesn't look back or wait for any sole goodbye from me. With a song and extra spin in her step, she bounded across the corridor with as much as child her age can have. As if the conversation has taken any downhill turn for her at all. If there's isn't a single thing to worry about in the world. Not long after, she disappears behind a door, leaving behind a strain of an old familiar rhyme lingering in the air. Carefree, unbidden. Untroubled moments like her, I envy her. As I resume my hurried pace, a tiny whisper back of my mind wishes me the same so I can be sad for myself and own worries. Luxbourne may be a small city, but it's no stranger to hellish rush hour traffic. But surprisingly, getting out of the city today proves more than a breeze than a hassle. A brief and relief considering how none of my calls, Isabella, have made it through. Either the reception really bad over here or she's ignoring them on purpose. Both does nothing to ease this quiet in me. Rest of my drive passes well much easier as soon as I'm out the busy streets. In less than 30 minutes, the mansion looms ahead of me. For all the fuss made about the house remains a thing of beauty. Unlike Luxbourne, the estates and the nearby Anson village stands as its complete opposite. Living and breathing the song of the old whisper of the once beaming haven lingering in the air. Contemporary conveniences aside, it's a place I'm glad modernization has a woolly touch.
It's just a shame the locals know more of the silly hearsay than the history itself. If I could only knock some sense into these people!
Sadly, complaining is all I can afford to do. As much as I want to give them a piece of my mind, it isn't why I'm here. I don't think these witch type will appreciate getting lectured from me either. I have much business with them as I have with me. With a heavy sigh, I give myself one last second to take in the scenery before heading up to the main entrance. Most of the guests are already heading out. Though some still linger, it mainly just takes photos of the house facade or its various rooms. I pause for a moment, scanning the small crowd gathered at the foyer, looking for any sign of a familiar ponytail among the sea of hats and heads.
No sign of her.
No sign of other staff or Miss Cooper either. I can certainly look for Isabella myself, but in the place this big, I'll be lucky I didn't end up lost on finding her before we need to meet with Zachary and Ash tonight. Sighing, I reach my mobile and read out her number. Gesture familiar how many times before. If she doesn't answer, I can still try and reach contacting Miss Cooper. I just hope the network reception will cooperate this time. This side of the country has never been popular with tech savvy anyway. To my relief, it only takes 3 unsuccessful tries. The fourth one, it rings about a switch another intercept message. The line finally rings. Silence follows while I wait for it to pick up, the ring going far too long for my taste. By now, most visitors has already cleared out. What I have for company are the faint murmurs and the eerie calmness left in the wake. And a sudden hush settles to give the noise louder than it meant to be. Doors creaking, slamming shut in distant part of the mansion. Floorboards grating under the sheer weight of the house history. In the now empty hall, they all reverberate with the special clarity against the walls. Like those stories seem to almost have a ring of truth to them. I don't get to stray far into the ugly line of thoughts, however. Seconds later, the sound clicked from the other end.
Hello? Isabella? Miss Cooper called earlier and...
But she hasn't seen the letter yet. It's still morning time. What? Unless it's the day. No, this is the same day, isn't it? She hasn't seen the letter yet.
Isabella? Belle? Are you alright?
Okay, that's really weird. Without any warning, the call cuts off. Busy notes blare sharply against the heavy silence. But above the cutting noise from the mid-air, there remains the faint cries of a woman. From beyond the foyer. My hand falls to my side as I cast a worried look around, waiting for someone to come running. Suddenly, surely I can't be the only one hearing this. There must be some staff hanging around checking things out. No one does. Not even when her sobs turn more frantic in anguish.
Excuse me? Hello? Who's there? Isabella? Isabella? Is that you?
No answers. Growing anxious, I amble over there where the cries come from, each step slow and cautious, toward the door on the other end of the room. While I am far from someone who's readily given to fear and other stories lacking factual basis, the vague, restless feeling I have immediately returns to me. And despite myself, my heart begins to race and my breathing quickens.
Belle? Belle, it's me. Miss Cooper called. Is everything okay?
Abruptly all of it stops. My whole body tense, my mouth dragging to the right breath, He's straining for any other sound yet to come from the other side. But nothing follows. Instead, the quiet only lends itself to heavy tension in the air, as if every small movement would disturb the fragile stillness in the room. I wait another second. Then, with a caution, I reach for the knob. My finger barely cleared the brass handle when a hand fell on my shoulder.
Excuse me, ma'am?
Oh shit.
I am so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
No, it's a...
Still reeling, my gaze shifts back to the door. If any seconds now, the cries will start again, or whoever's inside will burst out of the room. But I don't dwell on those. The one worried speak through the haze of my mind again, oddly soothing the thicker unease. Even if their concerned look comes from a total stranger, finally being company of someone else is somehow comforting.
Ma'am? Are you okay?
Oh, no, I'm fine. This is probably just some cold.
Do you need to sit down?
No need. I'm actually looking for a friend.
I wave the mobile in front of her. The gesture alone explains everything. Vaguely, I note my tight grip on her and quickly slip into my pocket before she notices. She doesn't need to know.
Well, I'm not really sure if your friend would still be here. We're actually about to close the open house in a few minutes, ma'am.
No worries. She's not a guest here. She works for Briar Realty. Miss Cooper called me earlier. In fact, I'm also looking for her.
Recognition flashes in her eyes and a worried expression dissolves into a smile at once. It's all I need to know that I don't have to look elsewhere or venture deeper into the mansion on my own. In some way, I'm not too keen on the latter right now.
Oh, Miss Rebecca Gales, is it?
Yes. Sorry if I'm a bit late.
It's not a problem. I was busy with the open house and a few clients anyway. It's actually a good thing you came when you did. Let's see. Isabella should be here somewhere. I told her to stay put earlier. Girl never listens.
Rose? Rosie? May I have a minute? There's just this one little thing before we go.
Oh, Hannah. Miss Cooper heads and immediately snaps at the voice. In a blink, a different kind of smile spread on her face. A smile still friendly when the kind mainly given for the sake of pleasing other people, than rather making friends.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there in a few.
Yes, it's an impressive thing to say the least. On that level of professionalism. That is a creepy smile. I suppose working years in this kind of business trains you enough to be able to pull that off without batting an eye. It certainly didn't seem to be rubbed off on Isabella though.
Sorry, could you give me a second? I have to take care of this.
Don't worry about it. I understand. I can wait a few more minutes. Clients, right?
You won't hear anything from me. Priorities, you know? But if you want, you can stay at the parlor in the meantime. I think we have a few refreshments left.
No, thank you. I'm going out with a few friends after this. Isabella's supposed to join us too. But that depends on how she's doing, of course.
All right, this won't be long, I promise.
She throws an apologetic look before sauntering over the small group gathered at the entrance. Oh shit. A couple or siblings and another woman, probably their secretary. Either way, they look no different from other guests. The three of them, primly dressed, albeit in a manner significantly simpler than the other, no frills, extravagance of any form. But their gesture and movement alone speaks the volume of engaged lifestyle. In their presence, I do what I can appear inconspicuous on my side of the foyer. Maybe accepting Miss Cooper's offer would have been much better choice than staying awkwardly and gaping at them. all while attempting my best not to listen in on their conversation. Although that one proves more difficult how enthusiastic the blonde woman is. It's her voice easily echoes through the whole world that we're only 5 of us here. Pretty soon I find myself drawn into their talk without meaning to.
Tomorrow? First thing in the morning?
First thing in the morning, ma'am.
The mundane talk isn't what catches my attention, however.
Very well. We'll have our lawyers prepare everything as soon as possible. Let's make this whole thing easier for everyone, shall we? Just let me know if there's anything you need from me. You know how to contact me, yes?
Got your mobile number saved here already.
Good. It's just a matter of time then.
It's a brief moment. A fleeting shift of my eye.
Monday for us, Marianne.
As long as you're positive, we won't be having any problems by that time. You can count on my team.
You worry too much. Let me handle those things. Do be thrilled, though. I imagine it's not every day you get projects like this,
And my instant, as I gaze toward him, I see it.
Oh, I'm certain Mint's ecstatic, Buttercup. Aren't you, Marianne? You know, we could all celebrate this with a few drinks. Why don't we?
Whoa, rapey.
In fact, there's this really excellent Irish pub I visited a few days ago.
Looming, however, over his shoulders, drawn to him like a moth on a fly, and a dark blur. No, a shadow.
I think I'll pass on that, sir. I have more important matters to attend to.
You heard her, love. She's busy.
Such a shame.
Are the voices drowning out?
You never let me do anything fun.
As I try to make sense of it, a heavy feeling descends on my whole body. It happens without warning, forcing me to close my eyes. The sensation creeps to every part of me, crawling under my skin, draining me little by little, my strength. Before I know it, my hands gripping the whole body for support. The sudden nausea drowns out their voice from what little sound there is, except the whisper and laughter, judging, mocking, taunting, muffled inaudible words bearing on me like a death sentence. They wrap around my neck and limbs, binding, tightening with every syllable, every utterance. With each draw of breath I take, they drag me down slowly, almost painfully, into a bottomless abyss. On, and on, and on, till the sound turns to a mere distant echoes. Suddenly it shatters.
Well, what are we waiting for? Are we done here?
A reality comes back. When I look at them again, it's gone.
You can head back to the car first if you want, Luke. I hope that settles everything, Rose. I don't know what Isabel's problem is, but please make sure she doesn't hurt herself. Anyway, we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Likewise, ma'am.
No shadows or dark clouds. Only amicable smiles and cordial handshakes, the usual pleasantries, as Miss Cooper leads them out the mansion like grateful hosts. None of the group seems to have noticed her. And even when I force my breathing to calm down, I keep my eyes strained on their back and wait for something to happen. It doesn't come back. She returns a moment later. Gently she closes the great door behind her, but there's little on her lips and an extra skin in her step when she walks back to me. Whatever she was discussing with the group has put her in a good mood. Even she appeared to have not observed anything odd. Was I just seeing things?
Glad that was over. It's been a long day. I thought for sure we're going to... Hey, are you sure you're doing okay? You look a bit green.
It's all good. I'm actually still recovering from a cold. Weather's been crazy lately.
Yeah, bro, it's so hot in Australia. I'm sweating so much. That must be it. The weather, the stupid cold, and the friendly warming, and the friendly warnings I'm too stubborn to listen to. I hate to admit as much, Isabella's right. I was and still am a bit feverish when she visited me at school this morning. The medicine helped, of course, but only some. Although it's not like I can't function, it did get a bit better after lunch. I was able to go through my schedule like usual. Now I'm not sure. However, I can't keep acting like I've seen some sort of aberration when it's anything but. I simply must have listened to too many times to Isabella last week. My fever, muddled mind must have started to confuse things. If it doesn't let up, I just need another visit to my doctor, plain and simple. Though I do hope it won't get worse. We did promise to watch Zachary's film together.
I know what you mean. I've been complaining to Isabel. It doesn't seem to affect her much, though. Must be because she grew up in the tropics. Anyway, shall we? She's probably hanging out with the rest of the catering staff.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised she's there. She eats like 10 hungry men when she isn't feeling well. Lead the way.
With a small nod, she gestures for me to follow. I do without much thought, finally putting everything back of my mind. Hey, the entire visit took the whole 24 minutes. My trip to the mansion, as it turns out, is a useless endeavor in itself. Isabella's no longer there, left shortly before I arrived. Wow, what the hell, man? Or at least, that's what the few staff who saw her assumed. None of them knew where she went, but I can take a few guesses. There are only numbers of places in Luxembourg she frequent and well never been. The complex mind doesn't really take a genius to figure out. Still, it's odd she left on her own. She would have at least waited for Miss Cooper, and it would have saved her have to pay a cab fare twice today.
And right after she was told to stay put! I mean, who does that? Oh, sod off! You don't own the road!
In the end, all Miss Cooper gave me is a mere string of apologies for my trouble, and a request to let her know when I find Isabella. The whole affair didn't even last long. I probably spent more time traveling back and forth. Soon enough, I'm weaving my way back downtown Luxembourg, worried sick, and on top of that, maybe a little annoyed. Whether at the unexpected turn of events or at Isabella herself, I'd rather not think about for now. Not when I'm already running late for Zachary's film. Besides, I'm perfectly sure that's where I'll find her. As one would expect, people already gathered at the movie house when I get to it. The small avenue where it's located would have been closed off early for any passing traffic to make its way for the avid moviegoers and whoever sure to crowd the venue. I had to park almost a street away, and a walk remaining distant because of it. Looking for them has taken a while in a crowd this big, but I eventually spot them near the entrance. Thanks to Zachary mostly. And like I surmise, Isabella's with them.
I knew it.
Wasting no time, I march over the little group. Words filled with concern come out of my mouth before I can stop myself.
Isabella! Oh, thank goodness!
Becca, you're just in time.
An odd expression crosses her face as I hold it in both hands, but I ignore it in favor of getting a good look at her, with forcing myself to keep still and fix her gaze at me.
Becca, you're squishing my face.
How are you? Are you alright?
Why wouldn't I be?
There doesn't seem to be any visible injuries, or does she appear to be in pain. Apart from a confused frown at my question, she looks pretty much like how she would any other day. Even so, I you can't really tell those things with her at first glance. Last time she got sick, she never bothered to call anyone, even me, who lives right next door. If I hadn't checked on her then, she probably would have died in her bed with the rest of none of the wiser. The one thing we laugh about now for the moment, like those teaches you about something about a person, if anything, is giving them more reason to constantly worry about her. And the moment a familiar name come up, I know my concerns right now aren't completely baseless.
Rose called me earlier.
Her expression swiftly changes. As settled as she can, Isabella Swift pushes my hand away, yet before even saying anything, I already have a hunch of how these things will play out.
Oh, no, everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today.
That's not what I'm talking about. How's your head?
Then and there, the whole conversation goes down as I've imagined. She dodges my hand when I reach for the back of her head, intending to check when injuring myself. Even makes a show of hiding behind Zachary just to avoid me. Instantly, what's supposed to be a simple inquiry dissolves into a shameless game of tag. Shouting and chasing, like none of us can be bothered to act like full-grown adults. We're supposed to all be. Including Ashton. I won't put it past Isabella, but Ash of everyone. In fact, if that stupid smirk on his face told me anything, he finds this whole mess amusing. For the love of
Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
She did look pale when I saw her earlier.
Wow, thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this, just you wait.
What? I'm just saying it as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
There's a moment pause. My hand still mid-air, my attention shifts to Ashton and the words, "Leave hanging between the four of us, alright, I'm gonna end this recording here. It's so hot. I'm gonna go get some ice cream." Okay, bye bye, thanks for watching.
I just wanna hold